God to be there right now. So, just before Theresa May meets with Donald Trump, she finds out that he's been talking shit about her, saying that the Brexit deal is a shambles, that it's possibly going to destroy any relationship with America, that Boris Johnson, the snivelling, slimy, backstabbing snake who she should have never given such a prestigious job role to, would make a much better Prime Minister than her. After all of her grovelling and snivelling and begging and sucking up, he turns on her. Wow, it's like she just hasn't been paying attention, and the only thing she's been doing for the last 2 years is making her husband more money. Weird, that. Very weird. But focusing on Trump, I've said before, it makes no sense to focus on the relationship with America at the moment because of Donald Trump, because this is what he does constantly attacks his allies while praises his adversaries, like Russia, for example. The man is not only a buffoon, an incompetent monster who wishes to be a dictator, not only is he a man who throws children into cages, and to this day there is still over 100 children who have not been reunited with their families. And when I say children, I mean 3 years old, 4 years old, who have not been reunited with their families because that fucking idiot is so stupid and just doesn't care enough to actually keep track of children that he steals away from parents. Parents go one way, children go the other, and that's it. No more is said and done. So, hey, the United States under Donald Trump and Jeff Sessions have orphaned over 100 children. Fan-fucking-tastic. But on top of that, he's a chronicle and pathological liar. Recently, in fact yesterday, came out talking about the NATO, the results of the meeting from NATO, saying that everyone else is now going to pay 4%. They've all agreed to it and they're happy for it. You know, they're happy that Donald Trump has been insulting them non-stop. Yeah, no. See, the only person who's actually said that everyone else in NATO is going to pay 4%, yeah, that's only Trump. Everyone else has said that they will stick to the agreement that they made with Obama, which is to pay up to 2% by 2024, I believe. So, yeah, bullshit. This is the man who is so unbelievably stupid, so unbelievably corrupt, and is such a pathological liar that he even came out during the NATO meeting saying that Germany is controlled by Russia. Is it Germany who have lifted all sanctions on Russia? Or is it Donald Trump? Was it Angela Merkel who called Vladimir Putin after the shambolic sorry excuse of an election win when adversaries to Putin mysteriously wound up dead under circumstances that people just, best not to question? No, it was Trump. Again, even though everyone around him told him not to call Vladimir Putin, he still did it. And then he said, hey, my stupid staff told me not to call you, but hey, what do they know? Now what gets me the most is there are still people who think Donald Trump is something magnificent. Hell, Piers Morgan this morning, can't stand Piers Morgan, but he was interviewing Stephen, can't remember the last name, I will link it down below, Breitbart, and they were saying that Donald Trump was a populist. Fuck off, is my response to that. What about him as populist? Yes, he came out saying he's going to drain the swamp, he's going to look after the little guy. What did he actually do? He gave millions and billions of tax breaks to the wealthiest in America. That's not what a populist does. That's crony capitalism. He's replaced any kind of authoritarian figure who actually wants to serve the people. He's called media and journalists who actually do their job fake news. And not only has he called for them to be executed and beaten, but he's done it time and time again, including a rally he did shortly after a handful of journalists were actually shot at, were actually murdered. He still came out saying that journalists are the enemy. I'm not a royalist by any sense of the word, or by any stretch of the imagination, but Prince Charles recently put the biggest smile on my face, at least this year, when he came out with a veiled threat against Donald Trump. And it's something that I've been saying for a while, and it's something that I don't think enough people are saying. And it wasn't, Trump, you're a dipshit, as I think most people need to do to his face constantly until he fucks off. He was saying that we need to remember all the events that took place leading up to the Second World War. All the events that took place bit by bit. The persecution, the hate and fear-mongering, which led to the execution and murder of so many innocent people. This is how it starts. Trump has already dehumanized everyone who isn't white to his insane, disgusting base. How much more is it really going to take? And how moronic must Theresa May be to think that Donald Trump would be any kind of worthwhile ally? Wake the fuck up. This is not just some happy thing to laugh at. She's put forward an appalling Brexit deal that if the rest of the EU go along with it, we will lose so much more. And there's really no other alternative, because there is no deal plan. It was only in the last month that she actually bothered to step up and look at the facts to see how relationships were going. And what else has she done in the 2 years that she's taken office? Nothing but lose seats. Nothing but reward Jeremy Hunt for actively destroying the NHS and then replacing him with a man who takes money from people who actively seek the destruction of the NHS. Who puts a man so vile in charge of Brexit negotiations, who has publicly said that people who have to go to food banks are just having a cash flow problem. That workers' rights are absolutely absurd. I honestly have no more words for Theresa May and her grotesque incompetence. She clearly doesn't want to do the job. She clearly just wants to further her party, which is a minority in Parliament at the moment, and make her husband a lot more money. The relationship with America at the moment is not worth proceeding. It's not worth pursuing, because Trump is just going to turn around time and time again and punch his allies in the face. That's not someone we should be trusting. That's not someone that we can build a relationship with. And it sure as shit is not someone we should roll out the red carpet for when he can't even get his own facts straight.